Yo, what is good, everybody? Salute here at realtorAI.io. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys a simple breakdown of how I plan to scale my agency. So basically, this is a little bit of a mind map of what I'm going to be talking about in terms of how I plan to basically scale my agency to 10K a month. So this is my personal blueprint from just doing a lot of research, taking a lot of courses, and figuring out the right blueprint that I have in mind. And this is just my own personal take. So just take it with a grain of salt in terms of how I'm going about my process. Everyone in terms of their whole agency journey is going to be different, and some things may work for others and some may not, but this is sort of the path and blueprint that I have in mind that for the most part just makes logical sense for me in terms of how I'm going to navigate it. So yeah, let's just get right into it and kind of show you what this blueprint is going to be for me personally. So let me first just give you a little bit of a rundown in terms of what our agency does. So I basically have an AI automation agency within the real estate niche, and specifically basically targeting realtors that need help with automating anything in the back end. So anything from, if they need help acquiring leads, if they need to funnel those leads through, a CRM system to being able to communicate leads back and forth, if they want to embed a simple chatbot on their own personal website that can help scrape lead information that goes onto the website to be able to then contact those leads through that CRM that we just talked about. Or if they want to embed a voice bot where that voice bot can then contact those leads, not talk about anything logistical, but just on the very surface level in terms of, the client's information and confirmation of appointment booking and appointment setting and stuff like that. So things on the very surface level that we can basically automate on the back end. So even contracts as well too. I mean, the possibilities are simply endless when it comes to automating anything on the back end. And since AI is coming up within this scheme, and there's a lot of surprisingly there's within the real estate niche. I know that the real estate niche is big when it comes to new tech and new gadgets. And since AI is on a come up, this is a great service within this niche, in particular within realtors. Since at the end of the day, realtors are also their own they're basically their own businessmen as well too, and sometimes I feel as though people forget that a lot of the times. So they also go through all the struggles that any other business go through that any other business goes through as well too. So that's simply what we do, and this is simply our website in terms of the agency. We have basically a simple website that shows all the services that we provide, like a lead field navigator. We do lead magnets. We also do a lot of market analysis as well too. So if you have any inputs or feedback in terms of what's going on in the market, in the real estate market, we also can implement automations or chatbots that can provide you market analysis. Signed assistants. These are just agents that we built that simply help in terms of just automating your document process, seeing where certain documents you want them to go, so everything's all organized. Like I said, we also have our voice concierge agent, which is, like I said, the voice agent in terms of appointment setting, and then we have our realty lead bot as well too, which is also just a simple regular chatbot or GPT that we can implement onto your website that helps basically convert any leads that go into your personal website and scrape all the information into hopefully clients within the whole process and stuff like that. Simple tailored website. We show our three-step process. We basically consult with you. So if you do book a call with us, we go through this process of a discovery call where we figure out your main pain points as a realtor yourself. And then from there, we simply talk and negotiate and see what we can do. I set up a game plan, and our team sets up a game plan and a map that is best suited for you personally in terms of what are some of the things you want to add to automate your business and make it a lot more easy for you. What are some things that we can implement that's plug and play that makes it simple in terms of your process. So from there, once we have that talk, we'll simply design and integrate everything seamlessly, and then we'll basically continue monitoring that service and making it as much better as we can and just improving it anytime. Just a little backflow. We are based in Las Vegas, and yeah, these are just a little bit of some of the just a little data that we're getting in terms of just what clients can receive when they do automate some of their services as well too, such as saving 10 hours a week or 20% more client meetings and stuff like that. So this is simply our booking page. So clients will simply book in with a call, and it'll be as simple as that. So in terms of kind of switching back, I know that I was kind of like marketing my services a little bit. I didn't mean to do that. But in terms of kind of going back to the whole setup process of this, basically this whole setup process, what I'm just trying to just tell you is basically I have establish essential systems and processes for efficient agency operations. So these are just things on the logistical side of having an agency. So things like having, contracts in place when it comes to either if you're outsourcing a lot of the work that you're doing in terms of having an agency, that's going to be key, or the contracts that you have within the clients that you sign. Setting up invoices and payment processes on Stripe, things like having proposal templates, which I can actually show you like a mock version of the ones that we have within our agency that we basically propose to our clients. So after we talk to them, I'll basically set up this proposal and they'll go through it and they'll see if they like it or not and stuff like that. From there, that's simply just having everything on the logistical side of things in terms of the agency, and then just in terms of the foundation of just all the simple things that you kind of need to have. So then that way, once you do have a client, the client also goes through your funnel in terms of like your agency. So if I were to, let's say I signed a client today, let's say they booked a meeting with our website. Let's say we had a discovery call and then we essentially talked to them and we negotiated everything in a good plan, and they said, okay, I'm ready to sign. We'll simply sign them, and I'll simply have our client portal. I'll invite them to our client portal where that is going to be our communication center. From there, I'll make sure they also have signed all the contracts and everything like that. If I have a contractor on our end that is fulfilling the services in terms of the automations, I'll send that contractor our contracts for them to sign, and then just simply invoices and payments process and stuff like that. You see how this funnel integrates seamlessly. So yeah, so from there, phase two, and I already have all of this logistical standpoint already set up within the agency, and that's actually kind of to show you. I use Flowzy, which is a very great software to basically implement this whole process. I mean, they basically have all these invoices, contracts, proposals, client portal, everything that you need to have your own agency in terms of the logistical standpoint. Flowzy is the best software that's out there in terms of having that service and in terms of being able to just utilize it for an agency and so much more. So that's pretty much the software that I use in terms of that, and it works seamlessly well and it's great. Now, the second phase of this is basically simply the learn AI tool section. So, me as currently an agency owner, still kind of on the come up and still going through this journey as you all, I basically need to learn a lot of tools when it comes to building this AI automation agency. And I feel as though it's a very disservice for me to not understand at least what's going on to be able to fulfill these services for, my clients within the real estate niche. So for me, since we kind of provide a very good general foundation of a lot of AI tools that we implement within our agency, the second phase for me is to basically learn all these AI tools. So basically being able to learn things like how to build voice AI agents, how to build simple chatbots, how to build, custom automations, through make.com and integrating different APIs with another API and how that whole process works. Being able to create custom GPTs where we can embed certain tools and calculators and things of that not in that sequence and stuff like that. So basically just a whole learning phase in terms of the things that I need to know so I can deliver the most value to my clients. And this also includes things like copywriting and also knowing how to, do meta ads or Facebook ads as well too, since all these things can be incorporated within the real estate niche. So phase two is pretty much just a learning process and be basically just learning and gaining foundational skills in terms of the things that we need to know and how we're going to go about it. I know that eventually, once my agency gets running well enough to where I can basically you know, I can outsource developers to do this type of work. Right now, as an agency owner, I need to know and understand how these systems work so that way I can be able to not only know how to hire the right contractors and the right developers that I know can do the services because I have learned to do these services, but also just in being able to be good as a creative. I feel like, as I said before, it's within my best interest as an agency owner, within my clients within the real estate niche. If I don't understand these materials, then I can't come up with the right solutions that are gonna help allocate towards solving my client's problem within their own business. So it just makes sense for me to know and understand this, and it builds confidence as well because you really know what you're talking about, as well too. And an example of that is I can give you a sort of tool that I have created. And actually, give me one sec. We're actually gonna get into that phase. So this is gonna be phase three. Phase three is to basically create tools and systems. So basically, once I have learned all the tools that I needed to know, now it's just a matter of simply using that knowledge and creating just simple tools and simple systems and automations, just like this one. And the whole game plan of doing that, Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Then the whole game plan of simply doing that is to not only help develop the skills that I'm building a lot more, but it's to also now start providing these free tools and all these free systems that I'm building out to people for free. And simply how we're going to do that is we're simply going to start implementing all these free tools and all these free things that I'm creating through our cold email campaign. And I use Lemless. This Lemless is I also attach to my LinkedIn account, which my LinkedIn account is where I do most of my marketing in terms of our services as well too. So the whole game plan of phase 3, kind of going back to it, is basically now that I have understood the skills of, making automations and knowing how to create these tools. I'm now going to put this into practice and I'm going to start creating these tools and systems. And once now that we are creating these tools and systems, I'm now going to start marketing this in terms of my marketing on LinkedIn and just giving out as much value as I can in terms of, giving out these free tools and resources and just staying consistent within my marketing. And then from there, I'm also going to implement all these free tools and resources through our cold email campaigns while using Lemless. So now, not only am I marketing my services and providing free value, I'm also going to do this on the back end in terms of my cold outreach, and that I'm reaching out to people, but I'm giving out as much value to these realtors as I can. And like, hey, you can use this, free chatbot I gave you, and you can implement it within your website, and it can do this and that and stuff like that. Just giving out as much resources as I can. Sorry about that. All right. And that's gonna help within our whole process of phase 3. Phase 3 then basically transition into phase 4, where once we have kind of got comfortable with building all these tools and solutions, and now we're providing free value to people. We're still gonna continue to do that, but now we are now gonna be in the process of getting our free clients. And essentially, the whole purpose of getting our free clients is, for one, we're gonna use them as a testimony. So once we have acquired one free client, once we have fulfilled the service for them and we have done a good job, we're going to use them as a testimony to then apply that again to our cold outreach campaign. So now that our basically our cold outreach campaign is going to be 10 times better compared to phase 3, because now we have testimonies and we have case studies that can prove that we know what we are doing. So the whole plan of phase 4 is to at least acquire 3 free clients and to basically essentially deliver good service to them. And how I'm going to do this is I'm also going to be using the school community that Liam Ollie has. Shout out to Liam. I'm not even going to lie in terms of the whole AI automation agency space. And simply going to be finding people that need any service delivery in terms of within my niche of the real estate agency, of the real estate niche. But basically acquiring free clients and then delivering good service and then using them as a testimony to then boost not only our marketing on LinkedIn, but also our cold outreach campaign as well too. And the fact that we have actually acquired a client, even though it's not paid, it's still a client, but it's still someone that you have delivered good service to. That's simply the whole process of phase 4. And we're going to use the community and our LinkedIn marketing and everything that we're continuing to keep doing to help with that whole process of doing that. From there, we then go into phase 5, which is the last phase. So the same way that you acquire your free client is the same way that you're going to acquire your paid client, just like what I previously kind of stated before. So in this case, we're going to continue to keep doing the same thing. We're going to keep creating tools and systems, giving out free value. We're going to keep staying consistent within our marketing through LinkedIn, within our services and the things that we have to offer. We're going to keep incorporating, we're going to keep trial and testing our cold outreach campaigns to make sure that, the copy on the outreach campaigns are good, that the tools that we're providing and everything is also good as well too. Now, the main key thing with phase 5 is that now it's essentially kind of wrapping it up in a Christmas gift wrap. So with phase 5, we're simply gonna, once we have these systems in place from phase 4 and all the rest of the phases, phase 5, we're simply gonna offer a good offer essentially, and kind of packaging this up. So once we're doing all the correct things within phase 4, and we're staying consistent, we're eventually gonna have a few people knocking on our door in terms of, okay, hey, I'm interested in this service. Now it's simply a matter of having a discovery call and then simply hopping on another call in terms of closing them and offering a good offer to back that up with. And then from there, it's also just niching down a little bit more and being able to find more ideal clients as well too. So within my agency, I'm within the real estate niche, but now I'm saying, okay, I can't just hit all realtors. Let me hit for me, ideally, I'm trying to hit real estates that are within the mid to high tier that are real estate agents essentially. So real estate agents that have been doing real estate within at least 6 years, and essentially, just because I feel as though those are the people that, for one, they have the money and they're willing to pay for something like this, just to provide, just to not only save them time, which time is money essentially. And I feel as though at the end of the day, no matter what, there's going to be some pain point that someone's going to go through, whether you're paying a little bit of a heavier price in terms of a service, knowing that it's going to save you much time, or it's whether not having that service, but then now you're spending more time in terms of, doing the mundane process that you could do. So essentially, no matter what, everyone is going to have a certain pain. It's just a matter of what you choose that pain to be, whether it's money or whether it's time. And you choose what you want that to be essentially. So from there, it's simply finding our ideal clients and just marketing to them essentially in terms of that whole process and strategy. And then from there, once we have, hopefully, I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I'm hoping that once I'm within stage 5 and that we are, signing clients, once we have, have the ideal client, we having a good offer, it's simply just a matter of just closing things out, which is delivering great value. The whole main process and the most important thing within phase 4 and 5 is to acquire leads and to deliver value. Those are the two key important things that are going to be within these two phases. And it's simply just providing value, getting more testimony, and then simply rinse and repeating this whole process in terms of how we do it. So this is simply my whole game plan in terms of how I plan to scale my agency. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys learned a lot in terms of this step process. I really do recommend using Flowzy if you guys are going to create an agency. Use Flowzy because that's going to be able to handle a lot of the logistical aspects of having your agency and even creating your own website. Like the website I created here was used with an agency, and everything was integrated seamlessly. It was a very easy platform to do. So I would definitely highly recommend that on top of Lemlist for your marketing campaigns if you are using LinkedIn. Now, also will be marketing through YouTube as well too. As you know, we'll be creating videos of that as well too. And also, this whole concept is just gonna also build my personal brand on LinkedIn and YouTube, and me creating this content and staying consistent. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was a very lengthy one. It was a very in-depth analysis in terms of how I plan on reaching this, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And yeah, take care. See you in the end. All right, so that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoy and you guys have simply seen the frameworks and the blueprints that I have set in mind. I know that this is very different compared to, any other video that anyone is doing with their AI automation agency, but this is sort of the blueprint and the path that I have set in mind in terms of the things that I need to essentially do to get to where I want to be at in terms of the agency. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and took some value out of it. And yeah, take care.